welcome everyone to our webinar. I'm Helen, the designer at CrossCountry App.
And I'm Josie, I do marketing and support.
And we are two of the three co-founders of CrossCountry App. And we are based in the Hunter Valley, which is around 2 hours north of Sydney, Australia. So today's webinar is an introduction to digital course design. So at the end of today's session, you should know everything you need to get started with the CrossCountry Toolkit software. And if you've already been using the Toolkit software, then this will be a great refresher. And you'll also have a good understanding of how the CrossCountry Toolkit can streamline the way you design courses. All right, let's get into it. So today we're going to cover how the CrossCountry Toolkit works, and we'll give you a demo of the editing tools, printing maps, how to publish courses, and how to create a course. There's several ways to do that. And then we'll have a discussion at the end. So what is the CrossCountry Toolkit? It is the digital way for eventing organizers and course designers to streamline how they design, build, and promote cross-country courses. So it's a web app that runs in the browser, so you don't need to download anything from the App Store. And you can access it in your browser on any computer, tablet, or phone. You just go to the URL toolkit.crosscountryapp.com. So now I'll give you a bit of an overview of how the CrossCountry Toolkit works in relation to our other product, the CrossCountry iPhone and Android app, and just a general overview of the system. So it starts off with you record a cross-country course with CrossCountry iPhone or Android app. So using the GPS, you walk around the course and create a digital map on your phone. You then upload this course to the CrossCountry Toolkit. And in the toolkit, you can edit the track, move jumps, drag the track, and you can also share privately and collaborate with team members. So this means multiple people can have access to the one course and they can both make edits. And you can also get a lot of information and statistics from that digital course map, which are really useful for officials, scorers, and commentators. So for example, we can export the fence list from the map and import that into a scoring system with all of the jump numbers already. And once you've made edits in the toolkit, you can also download it back to CrossCountry mobile app. And there's several reasons you might want to do this. So for example, once it's back on the mobile app, you can access the maps offline and make further edits. So a course builder, for example, could take the map out on course on their phone and use the location awareness to see exactly where they are in relation to the jumps on the map. And once you've made edits, you can then re-upload it back to CrossCountry Toolkit. So from the CrossCountry Toolkit, you can print maps, which are automatically generated from the digital courses. And you can also publish courses. So you can publish them on CrossCountry app, where they will appear on our website and also in the mobile apps. You can also embed them on your event website. So this is really useful if competitors are researching whether to enter your event. They can look at last year's courses and have a browse and see what the course is like. And you can also share the maps on social media. So now Josie is going to give a demo of the CrossCountry Toolkit.
So now we're in the toolkit, we're working in our browser, and we've got a couple of courses here that we'll look at. The first one is an 80 centimeter course. So we'll open that up. And this is the Sydney International Equestrian Centre. So we've got a course here that has been recorded on the CrossCountry app and put in the toolkit. And you can see we've already got a few jumps in there. So we'll go into the editor here. And you'll see here that we've got some nice satellite imagery, so it's easy to orientate ourselves. We've got the distance and the number of efforts, which have been automatically counted. And so on this right-hand side here, we've got a number of commands. So we'll go through these and show them to you. So I can zoom in a little bit so I can see more detail. And first I'm going to add some more jumps. So I click the pin here on the right, and I can add these jumps. And we'll zoom in even further on the water jump, and we can put them in exactly the right position. And now I'll accept them. You can add as many jumps as you want at any time. And so we'll renumber them. So I'll use the hash command and renumber them, and you'll see that they've all been renumbered. And down on the left-hand side, you'll see that we've got a new efforts count as well. So we can change the water jump numbers to A and B here. So we tap on a jump, and we can change the number here. And then we'll make that into 11B. You can either have your efforts separate, as we have here, or you could have them combined as AB or ABC. It really depends on what the people who are using this course like, whether the technical delegate, for example, likes them separate so they can have separate photographs very clearly for their reporting, or also for the scorers, they do like to have the separate efforts as well. When you actually print the map or when people view it online, the efforts are combined to make them neater anyway. So we've now got our separate, we've got our jumps in there. We'll now delete some of this course. So say we want to get rid of this loop, we can simply select our start point and our end point, and we can accept. And you can see that we've the jump has been removed, and we've changed our efforts count. We can change that loop a little bit. So now we can drag it out and accept that. We'll renumber them, and we can also move a fence. We'll just accept that. We can move a fence along, move that number 8 a little bit, and accept that. We can drag both the fence and the track. Move the whole thing. And if we want to add information to a fence, instructions for the course builder, for example, then we open the jump. We can add a name, a working name in this case. Then we can add sponsors later. And we can add some instructions. So say, for example, this the paintwork needed a little bit of work on here. We can put that instruction in. And we can also add a photograph. So if we have an asset register with all our fences in there, we've got our roll top fence here. Add that in. And so that could also be a sketch. So it may not be a fence that exists yet, but you might want to sketch that out, or you might want to be making a suggestion to the organizer that you have a new fence if there's a budget for that. So we can also add compulsory passages. We do that in the same way as a jump, and accept that. And then we can change that into a compulsory passage. Up here on the right, you'll see that there's a jump. We also can add waypoints, which could be somewhere where you needed some trees trimming, for example, or some fertilizer on the track. We'll change that into a compulsory passage here, and that will appear on the map. And so we'll save that. And one final thing to mention is that at any point you can do an undo or a redo if you've made a change. So if I show you, so this, for example, we move that along, accept it, and then we can just undo that and move it back. So now we'll exit and have a look at some of the other things. You'll see across the top, there are different commands. We can just simply view the course, edit it as we've just seen, print it, we'll see that in a couple of minutes. We'll look at some statistics. And up on the top right, Helen mentioned sharing courses. We can either share them privately through the plus here to collaborators, or we can share them via Facebook or embedding in the website. And down this right-hand side, we've got some more information and details about the course. And again, we'll look at those in a couple of minutes. So going to the stats, these statistics are all generated completely automatically. And you'll see that you've got the time and distance from the start and to the finish and between the fences for each of them. So that's really useful for commentators, for example, who may want to be able to say, well, they've just got a minute to get home from fence 21, makes the commentary more interesting. And you'll see here further down where we have a name and an instruction. These appear on the statistics as well. And we've got our compulsory flags down there as well. We've also got here a provisional optimum time, and this has been calculated based on the speed and the measured distance, but that can be updated with the official optimum time and distance later. But that's a useful way of knowing provisionally what your optimum time is. Up here, there are some export capabilities, and they're actually covered in more detail in another webinar about collaboration and sharing. So we'll go back now. To go back, you simply tap on the information, so we can go back from the course into the details, and we can also go back to the event. And we'll have a look now at another course. This is the Melbourne International 3-star course designed by Ewan Kellett. And there's a lot more information in here. It's a lot more complete. So we'll look, if we were going to get this course ready to publish, we really encourage you to do that because it's great for spectators, it's great for riders, and great for the event. You have got information here about the event name, the level. You've got official speed, and we've got the official optimum time and distance here. And we've also got an image. Now, this is the image that appears in the library as the thumbnail, so it's really worthwhile making that an iconic jump. And this is also a good way to have a very quick overview of all the fences, all the photos that you've got. So we'll have a look at this, and this is a nice image with the Werribee stately home in the background. So we'll see all the other ones. We can also zoom in a little bit on that and then save it. You can also upload a sponsor image if you have a title sponsor, or it could be the event logo. So that's all saved. When we're ready to publish, we simply click the visibility and change that to public. There are also other information here. A bit further down, we have a minimum time, which you can put in optionally. And we have an advanced tab with other information. You can actually download all the photographs that you've got in the course as a zip file, which is useful for social media or creating an asset register, for example.
Shall we have a look at the course library so you can see where the courses go and published?
Yes. So when the course is published, it goes into the course library where we have featured events. And you can see here, we've got a number of recent courses just coming in now in 2020, which is great. And further down, these are some superb courses that we received from a rider from Belgium. Their courses in Holland and Belgium. And that's great ideas. If you're looking for ideas for course design or for decorating your courses, then you can get some great ideas in the library. Okay, so that's our publishing. We'll now have a look at the printing. So we go into the print command. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a template, which is how you want your maps to look. There's a lot of choice there. This is the default setup. So you have your map on the left, you have your list of fences down the right. You've got the information about the course, but we can make a lot of changes here. We've got some really nice satellite imagery. We can fade that out a little bit if we wish. We can change the track color so that it matches the actual fence numbers. And we can smooth the course. So if there are a few little GPS wiggles, we can smooth those out with the map. We can change the size of the fence numbers and the thickness of the track. Now that's useful if you've got a low-level track, something like 80, 90 centimeters, where you don't have a very long track. And then that means it's easier for people to read. We can change the background. So we've got a number of choices here. Now these are from an organization called the OpenStreetMap organization, and it's a group of volunteers who worldwide are creating a map of the world, and they can put all different sorts of information on there, different features, and anybody can actually add information to that. And so if you can see what's happened with Werribee, that they've added the equestrian center, they've added the parking, they've got the dressage arenas on there, and so they like this this format. We can change the name of the event or the information there to add, for example, a title sponsor. So we'll add Melbourne there. We can have a description, so that could be something about the sponsor, for example. We can change the paper size for the US format, or if you want to have big maps of something like A3, A2 size for your secretary's office and so on, you can make those there. Now, this is a really nice one. You can actually change the orientation. So we could have this as a portrait map. So this is particularly useful if you are creating programs. So we'll move the fence names down to the bottom. And yeah. And so now we've repositioned the map there. And so you've got all your fences in neat columns down at the bottom. It can go at the top or it could go on the left. Depends how you like it. We can change the resolution. So we could have 300 dpi if we wanted really high quality satellite imagery, for example. But 150 is fine for most situations. We can, if you're using black and white printing, then you can use grayscale. And in that case, I would suggest you change the track back to blue, and then it shows up better. And then finally, one final option, we'll just go back to the color. What we can do is we can actually turn off the fence list completely and zoom in a little bit there. And we can actually display the fence names on the map. And commentators and the cross-country control people like these formats in particular. So when we're ready, we can save those changes. And what we have done now is we've saved the template. So if you make changes to the map, if you take a fence out, if you move the track, then that will automatically, those changes will appear on the map, and all you'll have to do is download the map again. You won't have to set this up all over again. When we're ready, we can just download the map, and this is a PDF that's being downloaded, and so that can then be sent off to your printer or for inclusion in your program, for example. So here's Alma.
So Josie just showed you all the great things you can do with a course once you have it in the toolkit. And now I'm going to talk about the 3 ways you can create a course. The first way, like I talked about previously, is you can record it with GPS using CrossCountry iPhone or Android app and then upload it to the toolkit. The second way is you can duplicate an existing course in the toolkit. And you can duplicate a course that you own, so you've uploaded it to the toolkit yourself, or you can also duplicate any previous published course in the toolkit. So this is really handy if a rider, for example, has gone to your event and published a course. You can actually duplicate that course and then start playing around with it. And the third way is you can draw a track in a mapping software such as Daft Logic and then import it as a KML. And what we actually coming soon in the toolkit is we're going to add the ability that you can draw the track yourself in the toolkit. So first steps, download CrossCountry app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Just search CrossCountry one word. And then open the toolkit in the browser and create an account at toolkit.crosscountryapp.com. And then log into CrossCountry app with your account. So I'll show you how to log in and upload a course in CrossCountry mobile app now. The interfaces for the iPhone and the Android app are actually a bit different at the moment because we've just created the new Android app and soon we'll be updating the iPhone app to be the same as the new Android app. But for now, the iPhone app looks a little different. So first up, there's a little info button in the bottom right corner. So tap that and then that will open the information screen where you can log in. And on iPad, it's in the top right corner. And then to upload a course, open the course and tap the share button, which is in the bottom right of the screen. And then you'll see the share options and select upload. Now, if you don't see the upload option, that's because you're not logged in. So make sure you just go back and log in. And then you'll see the upload screen where you have the option to upload it publicly. So it would publish in the course library straight away, or you can upload it privately to your toolkit account. And here's how to do it on Android. So on Android, the welcome page is where you can log in or sign up. And then the upload share icon is in the top right toolbar of the course. So tap that, and then the same with this upload screen. You can choose whether to upload it unlisted, so that's privately in your account, or public, so it'll publish immediately. Now, Josie is going to give a little demo of how to duplicate a course in the toolkit. So we'll just switch back to the toolkit.
Okay, we'll go back into the events. Now, I'm just seeing one event here. If I want to see all my events, I click on events. And these are all the events that I own or have courses in. And you can see the toolkit demonstration down the bottom. If I want to look for other events, I can click all events here, and that will list all the events that have got public courses. So that's where you would search for your particular event. So if we have a look for Corindai, which is an event near us in New South Wales, you'll see that we've got 14 courses there. So if we click on that, these are all the public courses, so we can see them. And so if we wanted to make some changes to the 60 centimeter course, for example, we just click on these 3 dots beside it, and we can then duplicate the course. And then that creates a course which is by default called copy, but you can change that name. I'll show you how to do that. You just go into here and you might call it working, for example. And then save those changes. So now we've got, so now I've got the course, only I can see it, and you can see it's unlisted here, and so I can then edit that and experiment with that. Use that for 2020. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is, we'll just go back from here, back into my events. Now, this is something that does sometimes catch new users out, so I want to alert you to that. When riders have uploaded courses, they might call them all sorts of different event names. So here we've got an example of Somerville with 1M, 2Ms, Somerville horse trials, for example. So it's a good idea to try and consolidate those courses. If you have a lot of courses that you would like some help with, then get in touch with me, support@crosscountryapp.com. But I'll show you how to move a course now from one event to another. So we've got a course in Somerville here. And so we'll simply open that. And we'll see that we've got an event name here. If I click there, it'll give me options, or I could type in the new name. So I'll move it to Somerville with 2Ms, save those changes, and now we'll see that it's in that event, and we'll see that we've got 0 courses in this event now and 4 in the other. At this point, we could delete this event. The computer will not let you delete an event that's got courses in it. It's just a security measure, obviously. One last thing I'd like to show you is really important, and that is the Learn Hub. So up here, you have got the Learn button, and if you want to know how to do something, if you've got a question, or you would like to have some step-by-step instructions, or watch a video, there's a whole host of information in here. And you've got the different options down here at the side. So as I said, the step-by-step instructions or videos. So if you've got a question, have a look in here. If you can't find the answer, do get in touch, support@crosscountryapp.com.
So let's say you've made some edits in the toolkit and now you'd like to download the course back to CrossCountry iPhone or Android app. So the way you do this is on your phone, go to toolkit.crosscountryapp.com in your browser. So that might be your Safari or Chrome browser, depending on what phone you're using. And then open the course in the toolkit and tap the download icon in the top right. And this will download the course and automatically open it in CrossCountry iPhone or Android app.
So just to recap, the benefits of digital course design using the CrossCountry Toolkit. First of all, it's a single source of information, and that reduces duplication of data. It's very handy, it's very convenient. It can be on people's phones, on their tablets, on their computers. And it means that you don't have a situation, for example, where you've got one person who's got a fence list in a Word document or a spreadsheet. The scorer has a different list of fences, and obviously that information can get out of sync if there's a change.
Yeah, and it saves everyone time by automating the print maps and the fence lists. So this means the organizer doesn't need to have a graphic designer to do the print maps. It just is automatically generated from the digital course maps. And this also means less risk of errors. So it's very easy to make last minute changes. For example, if you're having to take a jump out at the last minute, then you can just do that in the digital course map and it'll automatically appear in the print map. So that really makes it a lot easier when you're at the event.
Which can be a very stressful time.
Yeah.
So this can save a lot of time, a lot of worry. It's easy to make changes as we've seen, you can move the start and finish, you can drag the track, you can move fences around, and really experiment. And it aids communication over long distances. Now, this is really particularly important now when we've got a situation where international course designers can't travel to the venue where they're designing, or even interstate. Here in Australia, they're not allowed to travel. So that's very helpful, and it takes out the guesswork. So if you're communicating with your course builder, for example, they can see exactly what it is you're wanting, which fence is it. There's not a situation where they put the wrong fence in the wrong place. And it means that, for example, you can share courses ahead of time with the technical delegate, with ground jury. Ground jury members really like this, very handy. And also with other users such as health and safety, or the vets, everybody who needs to know where things are on the cross-country course.
Yeah, and check out our collaboration webinar on our YouTube channel as well to see more about that. So another great benefit of the toolkit is you can create virtual guided course-walks. So virtual guided course-walk is the term we use when the course designer or coach or rider even adds audio to each fence on the course. So yeah, so here's an example we have from the Australian International 3-day event where Mike Etherington-Smith created a virtual guided course-walk. And so he has the audio and some videos explaining the question he's asking of the rider, really talking about the challenge. And this has been really popular. We've done this with badminton, Red Hills, Australian 3-day. And the riders, you know, they love becoming armchair experts. And what did I say? Right? Spectators. I meant spectators. And then it's also really helpful for the riders, as it really creates that bridge of communication between them and the course designer. Often there's not a lot of chance to talk to the course designer about the course and ask them questions. And we've also done this at the low level of the sport as well, which has been really popular, where course designers who are also accredited coaches have sold guided course-walks for the low levels. So 60 to 95 centimeters. The riders can download the guided course-walk and get audio tips for each fence. And we've had really positive feedback from that. You know, they're the ones who really appreciate that extra education and guidance, and it's a great tool for them.
I've used them myself and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It really takes the stress out of walking the course.
And finally, it's a great way to promote the event by publishing the courses and also your profile as a course designer. So essentially, it's a great way to capture and be your body of work, and riders or anyone can search the database for a course designer's name if they've put it in the description, and then see past courses that they've designed. And we've heard a lot from riders that they like doing that as well. If they're going to an event, they know a certain course designer designs there, then they'll look up past courses.
And one point to add here is this is not these virtual guided course walks or looking the courses up on the course library. It's not a substitute for walking the course yourself. Everybody still walks the course.
Yeah.
And finally, this is just another plug for the Learn Hub. Do please take a look at it, and if there is something that you're looking for that isn't there, support@crosscountryapp.com and we'll add it in. Thank you. All right.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you got something useful from it, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see future webinars.